Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, on this superb Saturday for another daily cryptocurrency market update. If you are new around here every single day at 1 p.m. UK time, we release an update just like this one to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, but also the broader markets, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. Yesterday was a pivotal moment for all markets with the non-farm payroll results. We are going to be looking at that and relating that to the dollar that has now, in our opinion, started at least a retracement of the pretty aggressive upside that it's had. Now, we're going to look at the dollar from a short-term perspective in relation to the basket of sort of assets we look at with when we're looking at risk. But we're also going to look at it of more of a broadened time horizon, because where I'm actually going to start this video off is with looking at this depression, crash, recession that people have been calling for a while now. Now, it's our opinion, and this is why we're long the markets right now, that that isn't going to come until later on. I'm going to be reiterating why that is in this video. It's due to the effects that rates have on a market. It is contrary to popular belief, yet factual, that the markets actually rally under high interest rates. Now, that sounds absurd, but historically is true, and we've done a lot of homework and research on that. And actually, this is one of our kind of macro factors coupled in with a lot of technical reasons why we actually decided to get long the cryptocurrency markets. We've had a lot of quite a choppy ride actually for many altcoins since we got in at the start of the year. But we're ultimately, I believe, very well positioned for what's to come. And if you guys want to find out what I'm buying and where, do consider becoming a Patreon. We've got an amazing retention rate, and of course we have a meeting tomorrow. We're going to look at Bitcoin. I'm also going to be talking about altcoins and why they are now primed for upside. They are locked and loaded, ladies and gentlemen, and we are, in my opinion, about to experience some significant upside momentum for them. They've kind of put in a very common sort of trait in regards to what the markets initially do. You know, they have this kind of real aggressive rally to kick things off. Altcoins, some of them went up hundreds of percents. Then they retrace a lot of that just before starting more of an assertive, larger wave to the upside. So we are going to be looking at that in this video. So we have got a lot to go over. First of all, guys, massive thank you to each and every one of you that came over and checked out our website yesterday. You guys know that we are dedicated to bringing you the latest and greatest things in the crypto space in regards to news. And actually, yesterday, we officially announced a tool that each and every one of you can utilize completely for free to keep up to date on the crypto space. You guys can come over. Basically think it's a better version of CoinMarketCap. And you can utilize this feature where you can favorite, you can create your own list, and actually you can go into these individual cryptocurrencies, get a trading view chart that you can do technical analysis on. You know, you can change this to whatever time frame it is to look at the markets in a similar way to how I do it. You can also draw on these charts, enlarge them, put them on log, everything in between. We've got all the data in regards to the specific cryptocurrencies, all the links where you can stay up to date. We've even got the likes of Twitter feeds just to show you that very, very quickly. You know, we are really planning on becoming your one-stop shop for the cryptocurrency space. And thanks to my amazing partner, you know, we are really heating up in that department. So enough of the shameless self-promotion. Let's dive into what we want to cover in this video. And again, yesterday was a pivotal moment, but let's start off with a macro that's going to tie in with yesterday, what happened, the dollar, and what we're going to be looking at moving forwards. So this was interesting. Crash plus depression guaranteed. And of course, Jim Cramer has become a popular counter indicator for the markets. You are going to get a crash, just like we've seen after every single interest rate hike in the past. However, it comes later than people expect, and it's due to a lack of understanding that people have been calling for the crash this year. It's our opinion that you're not going to get the crash until end of 2024, potentially 2025, and that is, Larry Fink came out recently and said a similar thing, kind of copied what we were saying. No, of course, that's a joke. However, you know, people have misunderstood what happens with rate hikes. It's a very popular narrative that the market can't do well under high rates. Well, actually, that's not true historically, and we have shown lots of data to support this. One of them is this study here that actually takes 67 published studies and examines what the actual transmission lag of monetary policy is. And the consensus was that 25 to 50 months is the kind of lagged effect of rates. Now, this aligns with a lot of what we've been looking at. It's how we've been able to call long on many markets at the start of the year, and ultimately are expecting them to continue to the upside. Moving on to the dollar, and we've actually shown the Fed funds rate in relation to the S&P. Remember, the S&P will rally 2 months prior to a recession. So if that recession doesn't come until later on, then it's going to continue to go up. And of course, that's going to support crypto as a correlated asset in that kind of risk basket, which we're going to look at. Yesterday was a very pivotal moment for the markets as we had non-farm payroll. So the unemployment number is a double-edged sword because unemployment, when it's at a low, markets are at a high and vice versa. So something for us to watch. It's not as staggering as, there is a nudge up in it, but it's not dangerous levels just yet. But the big number yesterday was the non-farm, okay? And there was a massive beat on expectations. Last month, the forecast was significantly lower than last month's, more in line with the forecast of last month's. Of course, it was a huge beat, but it actually came well under, actually, and it was quite a low expectation to begin with. Of course, this has affected the dollar. Now, the dollar's had a really strong retracement from what is potentially a broader downtrend, and you can see the dollar has now broken out of its range. And we have, before we look at the big term timeframes for the dollar, been looking at our basket of risk. So we've got Bitcoin, the S&P, gold, and a housing ETF and bonds. This is the game, ladies and gentlemen. The dollar goes up. Risk typically, although a bit of a lag here, you could say, goes down. The dollar goes down up until really recently, and of course, it's been pretty brutal for housing. But we've got a lot of people covering their bond shorts. Risk goes up. Okay, you can see generally this correlation. The dollar starts to, let's actually draw this correctly in line with the dollar, which is the kind of black chart, if you will. The dollar goes up based on inflationary fears, and we'll even bring in oil in a second. Risk goes down, and then you can see with this kind of turning point that we speculated on a weekly candle that it was a bit of a shooting star after a very aggressive uptrend. As the dollar's starting to top out a little bit, you're starting to see risk, even the likes of housing ETFs in the US and even debt get a little bit of a bid. And if the dollar's going to continue to roll, risk is going to continue to do this. And of course, Bitcoin and gold have been the real champion of that. So if the dollar is indeed on the verge of rolling over, you can see here with that shooting star, if we transpire this to a weekly, this is what we were looking at. This shooting star here, look at markets parallel. They all bounced on this, on the speculation the dollar was going to go down. If the dollar is going to continue to roll, then that means that risk generally is going to do quite well. Altcoins right now, which we're going to come on to, are setting up, in my opinion, to do exactly that. And actually, when looking at the dollar on more of a broader time frame, is the dollar perhaps in a bit of a channel? And if we are going to get this bull market and rates are going to lag, does that mean, we'll probably use this actually, that the dollar may want to find itself coming down to these levels here, looking at 2025 down here, and then you get your recession, your rates effects kick in, and then you get this real strong uptick, and then you get your dollar milkshake and things playing out. This is going to correlate with a good time for risk. That bull market, the higher targets we've got for the likes of the S&P, just to show you that, and everything in between. We actually even had stocks that went on and put in new all-time highs as we predicted. This was perfect in terms of it hit its target and pulled back. Come on board, guys. We teach a lot of technical analysis. People that think technical analysis doesn't work, in my opinion, have clearly never properly given it a go, because it absolutely does. It's no coincidence that the markets run to targets. They support, for example, using a recent example, we were looking at the S&P supporting at resistant, what was previous resistant flip support. This is a textbook stage 2 retest. This is a now a broken out market, guys. And in our opinion, you're moving all the way up to just shy of 50,000. What's crypto going to do in that when the likes of Bitcoin, if we compare it with the S&P, let's get this on log, sorry. So this is the S&P, has now broken out and got higher targets to the upside. You don't get this 360 analysis anywhere on YouTube, guys, other than here at Allincrypto. The channel isn't for everyone, and we do see some people have grievances with the channel, but there's plenty of channels out there you guys can go and watch if this one isn't for you. So factoring everything in, very interesting that stock market's also perfectly bounced there. It was one of the best weeks for the stock market, and it always is the case. When everyone's max bearish, ignore them. because retail, if you look at who makes money in this market, it's the minority and not the majority. And actually, that's true in life when we look at things. You know, it's usually the smaller group of people that get hated and ostracized, and you know, you kind of got that 2 minutes of hate, to use a kind of George Orwellian analogy. With we're not going to go too much into that. You know, it's look at this. This is the best weekly candle for the S&P. When everyone's bearish, we go bullish because we've got broader context and understanding of the market. And altcoins right now are setting up. Solana was a killer altcoin for us that we absolutely predicted on the channel. And it's very common that markets do this. They rally. They have that initial rally, the kind of bear awakening. It's a bit sleepy, a bit groggy, so where the pullback's often quite harsh. And then they're off. And your majority of altcoins are still here. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly with the dollar de-risk, potentially allowing a period for risk. It's here. I mean, we could use any random altcoin and see this. Let's look at VRA. What do we see? An initial rally. Retrace a lot of it. Everyone's max bearish. Only 4. And all markets are aligning right now with risk. Something like that to happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen, guys. It's not a price prediction. But you're seeing this across the board. Let's use a good favorite of ours, which is H bar. I'll have to take the draw. H bar. I'll have to take the draw off because I've got some draws on here. Up, down. We've got a trade right now that we think is going to produce 300%. And you can find out and get on board with that by becoming a Patreon. And we're giving it to you right now. You know, if you look at a lot of these altcoins, be very careful with leverage, guys. I wouldn't recommend it at all. You want to also look for altcoins, just like Solana. We said it's very impressive that it showed strength already, and that's likely to continue in this market. If it is a bull, the ones that have been strong from the get-go are the ones that are going to continue to be strong. The ones that have gone on and put in new lows, they're going to be less strong and aggressive as the ones. This is, you know, H-bar looks good. All the altcoins look great, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and broadly summarize them. You know, this is the total market cap. I'll have to keep my drawers off here. Okay, we can put them on. I don't think I've got anything too much on here. You know, look at what these are doing. And that's going to run you right into a level. The bull market's here, guys. That's absolutely our assessment. You know, we have literally been buying cryptocurrencies since here. Okay, not December. Since here. Out the market here. In the markets here. We're not perfect. We're going to make lots of mistakes. Let's just take a quick look at Filecoin. Again, you see a similar thing to what you see all the time. A rally, you retrace most of it. Everyone's bearish only for the next phase to take place. Bitcoin did this. And yeah, you can say there was a crash. Smaller market back here. Initial rally. Pull back. Bull market started. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It is here. We assess it. We've done all the groundwork. We've done the macro, micro, technicals. And they all align. When something walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, we're having duck for dinner. That is really all I've got for you guys. Again, don't forget to come and follow me over on Twitter at @RealAllinCrypto so you can stay up to date with my thoughts on a daily basis. And come and check our website out, guys. This is a great tool. You know, this is truly the vision that we had for Allincrypto. And that is that we want to provide a free service that you guys can actually utilize and that benefits you. You know, I got into this game with the ambitions of providing a service that helps you guys out. And maybe we've done a good job of that. Maybe we've not. You know, it's for you guys to decide. On that note, ladies and gents, I'm going to love and leave you. We've covered macro, micro, dollar, everything in between. And yeah, see you all in the next video. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.